everybody, Kim here with Little Biz Resources, and today I want to talk about 9 services you can start selling within 24 hours or less, even if you don't have any experience. All right, so let's first cover a 24-hour disclaimer. Yes, I will definitely show you how to get started in 24 hours or less, but it might take you more time, especially if you fit into any of these categories. First one, you want to be an expert before offering the services. I fall into this category. Now, you can become very proficient in any of these areas within 24 hours, but probably not quite expert level, according to those of us who want to be experts. But this really shouldn't stop you, right? Because you need to know enough to be able to sell the service, but it's going to take you a little bit of time, or not, whichever, to get leads and drive people into your little ecosystem. Now, if you already have people that are below you, don't let your need to be an expert stop you. These are all very super simple. That's why I selected them. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. Now, if you fall into the category where you're hesitant to use technology, these are all online services. So technology is involved, but I will talk about some of the easiest technology to use. If you are hesitant, it might take you a little bit more than a day to become proficient enough to promote the services. And of course, if you don't take action, that's kind of a given. It's going to take more than 24 hours. In fact, take indefinite time if you don't take action. This is a multi-part series. Yay! This is the first video. We're going to cover 9 services as an overview in this video, just an overview, right? In the second video, we're going to talk about ideas for reaching out to find customers and clients in general. Then the 3rd through 11th videos are going to cover each of the services in more detail and help you gain a better understanding of the value you provide offering that particular service, plus maybe some tips that are specific to how you can generate leads for that specific service. All of these videos are meant to help you get started if you want to offer different services. Links for additional resources will be in each video description on YouTube, or you can see all the videos and more information at littlebizresources.com/9services. All right, part 1, the services. So why these 9 services? I chose these 9 services to highlight because they do not require prior experience. You can get started with any one of them quickly and master them to a level you can start offering the service. None of these require you to understand coding or detailed technological aspects. I do not code. I haven't coded. I'm not going to code. So with coding out, that just makes these really easy to do. Now, if you know how to code, I'm not saying anything against that. You can probably actually up your game a little bit. But if you don't know how to code and you're like me, don't worry. None of these are going to be highly technical. In fact, they're going to be very minimal. So all of these are services that are in demand, right? You want to be able to offer something that people, other business owners, are looking for. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. If you wanted to offer all 9, eventually, of course, you could offer all 9 even to the same customer. In fact, you can mix and match. You can add on different variations of it. You'll see. Ultimately, I chose these because they are easy to get started, especially if you utilize the resources mentioned, but you can use whatever you want. These are just to give you ideas. First one, creating apps. And I said this could be an alternate for web design. And when we dive into this service later, you'll see why. Or in the video, you'll see why. This is definitely the future of web design. And for some companies, not all, but some of them, they may only need an app. And, just to give you kind of a sneak preview, I kind of think of this when I think of local businesses. There are a lot of companies that do not need heavy duty websites, and they benefit from an app, right? To be able to push notifications out, or to be able to just communicate quickly with their clients and customers. So an app may be ideal. And in this particular one that I recommend, it is the software program. You can, it's a website, right? It just happens to be, you also install it an app. Now, with an increase in censorship by many different platforms and giant entities, you can guess on which ones, this can be a way to reach your audience in the event something happens, intentionally or accidentally. Pinterest, for those who don't know, Pinterest had a mass global shutdown of like a ton of accounts like a month and a half ago. and it was their fault, not the people's fault, but Pinterest's fault. And so something like that happens, and you could lose your entire account. If that was your primary method of communicating with your audience, you have to find an alternate method. Social media reach can get as low as 1% organic reach. That's free, right? So you post something on Facebook and maybe 1% of your audience sees it. I've seen even some reporting less than 1%. And then if you're doing email, technology can put emails into spam. This particular, having an app is necessary for more of a marketing omnipresence or omnichannel approach. If you've ever heard of those. So this is, if you want to be everywhere, you need an app, right? For a business. So this is what makes the service so valuable. Now, most business owners have no clue how to set up or manage an app, which makes it a great service to offer. Number 2, managing and setting up rewards or loyalty programs. Now, rewards and or loyalty programs are a great way to get recurring customers. Right? They've already bought something from you. Oh my gosh, this happens to me when I go to Michael's all the time, right? I go in, I spend $100, I get a $10 reward. It's $10. And I'm like, man, I got to go in and buy something. And I go in and buy another $100, get another $10 in rewards. But I buy like $110 and stuff to get the $10 back. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Kohl's does this. All of these do it. Rewards and loyalty programs in the right markets can be huge. The most expensive part of marketing and advertising is customer acquisition. Think about that, right? So you are trying to find customers. That's the most expensive part. When you can turn customers into repeat customers, this helps increase profit per customer. So let's look at an example real quick. Let's say it costs you $50 to acquire a customer. So $50 customer acquisition. The average order is $60. Now, you have costs involved in that more than just the customer acquisition. So you could be losing money, right? So a single customer may not make you money. It might actually lose you money. But when they buy again, so the next time they're already a customer now. So they spend another $60. You don't have that $50 customer acquisition anymore, right? You had it in the first one, but not in any recurring purchases. So that's what makes recurring or repeat customers so valuable. And when you offer the service of setting up and managing the rewards or loyalty program, this lets business owners focus on the parts of the business they do best. It's an excellent service to offer. 3, creating eBooks and reports. eBooks and reports are one of the best giveaways possible. Now, you can sell them as well, but almost any business can benefit from giving away an ebook or a report. But most business owners don't have the time, desire, or knowledge to format or create the ebook report. You can offer the service just for formatting, make them create all the content, and still save people a lot of time, right? Now, I'm going to tell you guys, there's an ebook software that I recommend, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time, and it's really easy to master. But I'm still going, oh my gosh, I don't want to spend 2 hours formatting this ebook that I just spent 2 weeks writing. Right? So this is, again, even though it might only take you 2 hours or it might only save them 2 hours, one, they don't know that because they're going to go and think, oh my gosh, this is a nightmare to do in the first place. But 2, I'd still pay somebody $30 to format it just so I don't have to do it, right? But you can charge more because they don't know that it's $30. You can charge more and offer better services, offer, a more, if you want to include like content and everything. And again, we'll dive into this more in another video, but this is an excellent area to offer services. All right, funnel designer. Most marketing requires a funnel for success. Now, I know there's going to be people that argue with me on that, but you can call it what you want. It still ends up being a funnel. And for those who don't know what a funnel is, it's basically the act of taking somebody from interested in your product or service or solution to making the purchase, right? It's that process all the way through there, all the steps that you do. Now, even though many business owners don't know they need this, they do, right? They do. So if you think about it, just like when somebody's going to buy a car, right? This is a funnel, right? They go to buy a car. First of all, they walk into the car lot, and if they don't get scared away, then they find a salesperson and they find the car that they want. Then the salesperson sits down and they say, okay, here you go. You've got a car. This is the car you want. Let's see. Do you want to upgrade the tires? Right? So you're like, well, upgrades, that's something that's part of a funnel. Yes. And it could be services. It could be, it's a whole variety of things. But then they turn around and then part of their funnel is also, hey, by the way, do you know anybody else who needs a car? Right? So this whole process is about the customer experience and helping them and then including them in it. So there's a lot of different kinds of funnels, a lot of different ways to do it. It's not always upsells. There could be just lead generation funnels. And that's part of, I'm kind of skipping ahead a little bit, but when you think of funnel as anything that goes entry point to first offer to additional offers, this gives you massive opportunity. But it doesn't have to be offers. It could be lead generation, right? So funnel designers solve lots of problems: lead generation, sales, engagement, etc. Right? There's lots of different things that you can do with funnels. And because of that, there is a huge need for it. Okay. Number 5, copywriter. Now, it's funny because I didn't know this. I've heard of copywriting since I first started in college, but you can copyright something and it's, through the federal government, and you have it as a copyright and people can't steal it. That is not what we're talking about here. We are talking about a copywriter as in somebody who writes copy, who writes content. So it's like the written word for marketing. Now, you can have copy is used as a lot of different terminologies within writing content, but it's typically a written word. You can use copywriting in webinars and everything else as well. So it's also spoken, but that was the traditional thought of it, right? So copywriting occurs everywhere. When you're sending out emails, when you're writing sales copy, see that? Ebook titles, funnels, and much, much more. This is a great complementary service, so it can complement another service like funnels that we just talked about, or it can be something that's a standalone. And you can charge a lot when you offer copywriting services. There are some copywriters out there that will charge $10,000 or more for a single sales page, and they don't make any guarantees that you're going to make money. Copywriting is also a standalone service. So even though you can offer it as a complimentary service, you can also just charge somebody something like for a good headline. Say, look, I'll generate 10 different headlines for this particular sales page, right? So they have a sales page is not doing well, and you're like, let's try the title, and you give them like maybe even 3 titles, and you just say, hey, let's go ahead and split test this and see which one of these 3 titles are good. Copywriting is one of the most important elements of a business. If people don't click, they can't buy. Not that they won't buy, they can't buy, right? If they do not click to get to the sales page, they can't buy. So literally, copywriting is one of the most important elements of a business. If you can help a business generate more income, they're going to love you for it. Number 6, local SEO or search engine optimization. Local businesses have way less competition than non-local businesses. So if you think of, the big companies, and I always go with AT&T, they're stuck in my head, right? AT&T is still a local company. So unfortunately, you have to compete with them locally as well. But if you were thinking about companies of that size, and honestly, there's a lot of companies that are that size that are local, but it's less competitive at the local level, right? And that makes it a huge opportunity still. Even if you know nothing about SEO, you can easily offer local SEO services because there are only a handful of requirements. Okay, only a handful of requirements. Local business owners do not have the time to figure out local SEO. They also think it's scary. I know because I talk to people all the time. In fact, I teach it. And people are like, I just don't get it. I'm like, dude, backlinks, traffic, branding, that's all you need. And there's a little bit more to it, but you can watch webinars and training on that. But they definitely don't have the time to dedicate to some of the steps needed. We use software to solve this problem, right? Because we're not going to do it by hand either, but they aren't going to go and pay for agency level access to things, or they just don't know about it. In fact, most people don't know about it. You can offer varying levels of local SEO, which means you can appeal to lower budget and higher budget businesses. This is an excellent entry level service, right? A lot of people don't know what funnels are, but they know they have to be seen. This works a lot with Google My Business. And if you can, and it's really easy to use now, guys. Google My Business has changed so much over the years. It is so simplified. It's ridiculous. So this is an excellent service. It's easy to jump into, easy to manage, and a lot easier to sell than some of the other services. All right, number 7, video creation. We live in an age of entertainment and video. It's just the way it is, right? YouTube has ruined us. No, I'm kidding. YouTube has enriched our lives so much. Yeah. Businesses are not exempt from this requirement, even though they think they are. I'm a business. Or even business to business. Oh, I run business to business. I don't need to have video marketing at all. Yes, you do. Right? Video is everywhere. Everywhere. Pinterest now has it. Instagram has now focused on Reels, which is a direct competition with TikTok, which TikTok I don't know anything about, but apparently it's a video platform mostly. Facebook implemented their live in competition with YouTube Live, so literally everybody is jumping into video. But again, businesses are not exempt from this requirement, so they need your help with creating videos. You do not have to offer all types of video creation, because I know there's somebody out there right now as they're listening to this going, I am not going to set up my video camera and record them and make it all professional and stuff. Don't do that then, right? That's going to be an exclusive set of people that do that. And if you have that skill, great. By the way, you could just use your smartphone for that if you wanted to. But you can do so many other types of videos that are focused specifically for social media, as an example, right? Get specific and focus on the types of videos that you want to offer. If you do not want to do, hey, I'm doing this recording and I'm going to make it all fancy for them, don't do it. If you want to do doodle videos, just focus on that. If you want to do, and I'll have some links to software that you can use. There's free software that you can use. Right? If you want to do screen sharing, right? And have them just do screen sharing videos and you edit it together and put it however you want to do it. Whatever you want to do for video, there's a huge need for it. And using software, you can create some styles of videos in minutes, right? Entire lengthy videos in minutes. Videos are not critical, or actually it's now, so that it doesn't supposed to say not, it's supposed to be now critical for social media. You could easily offer packages or turn this into recurring revenue from the same clients, right? So every month you offer them a package, maybe you offer them like 4 different videos for 4 different channels, and you charge them, a couple $100 a month or something. Or you say, hey, we're going to do it so that you're releasing a video every week, and you generate them and give them to them, right? And so it's a recurring thing where you're making money regularly from this. All right, number 8, email marketing. Email marketing isn't hard. I know I make it seem like it's hard because I hardly ever do it, but it's just a matter of literally someone taking time and being willing to do it to make it happen, right? They need to be able to write the email and push the button. Most business owners have their own ideas about email marketing, which is why they never do it. I cannot tell you how many people I've heard that say, well, I am not going to do email marketing because I am not emailing my clients every single day. Then don't email them every single day. But you need to email them probably once a week. And this is where it's like there's a huge breakdown because they won't do it because they're hearing or have heard somebody that said you have to do it this way. They're taking it out of context or out of the application, and they're trying to say, hey, I don't want to do that for my business. Don't do it for your business then, right? So as the person offering the service, you can still offer it the way they want it. You just have to push the button for them, right? I mean, it's kind of sad, but it is a huge need. Email marketing continues to be the number one marketing method that generates the most revenue for investment. Okay, and I can't remember what it is, but for like every dollar spent, you make $17 back in email marketing. That is not true across the board, I will say that. In fact, I would suggest that in some niches, it's probably for every dollar spent, they're only getting a few dollars more for it, but who cares, right? Especially if it's digital stuff that they're promoting. Anyway, we'll go into that again in the video, but capturing emails is the only real way to own the customers, though SMS is a close second. And that's texting, by the way. You can offer varying levels of email marketing services where you only set up and manage sending all the way to email creation and scheduling, right? So we talked about that copywriting again. You can add that on as a secondary service or a supplemental or like a combo one. All right, number 9, messenger marketing, and now Instagram direct messenger marketing. Now I combined these because the software I use offers both, but I suspect and anticipate that since this is Instagram still new, that we're going to see a lot of different solutions, but none as good as the one that I recommend. But messenger marketing is a great way to keep people on Facebook, but still capture customers. You can offer a range of services with messenger marketing, and now, of course, Instagram direct messenger marketing. These can clearly be different services. So you can say, hey, messenger marketing is a service and Instagram DM marketing is a service. You can do, two of those. That's two basically in one. But the resource I recommend includes both in the same software. So I decided to kind of combine these. These marketing methods use bots or automation to automate everything, right? So your job is basically to set up the automation and just adjust it as needed. That doesn't mean you don't need to charge a lot. You're going to have a setup fee. You're going to have management fees. This is just because you're not putting in tons of hours of work, you're making sure that this is functioning and you're providing them a very good service. So this is an excellent one. And especially with Instagram, if they're on Instagram, they need to be doing direct messenger marketing on there. And then, of course, within this service is several different services because of the wide range of opportunities, right? Because you can do customer service. You can set up a bot for customer service. You can set up a bot for specifically marketing. You can set up a bot that's linked to ads. I mean, there's a whole wide range of things, and we'll talk more about these in the video dedicated to this. All right, so more on all of these in upcoming videos, right? So the next video in this series will look at various ways to reach out to potential clients to give you some ideas, like how you find people, how you reach out to them, how do you sell the services, right? So we're going to talk about that in the next video. After that one, I'm going to have separate videos for each of the services to talk more about the service and ideas for promoting. Now, if you like this content or this type of content, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Also, please, if you have a chance, provide some feedback, because nobody really does that. And I mean, preferably positive feedback. The one feedback I do get regularly is, Kim, you need to edit your videos and take out all your stuttering. No, I can't. Do you know how many times it takes me to record these videos? It's already, right now, I'm recording this video. It's 5 o'clock in the morning and I haven't slept yet. Why? Because it's the first time it's been quiet in my house. I finally got my daughter to get back to sleep. She's 8, but for some reason can't sleep. So positive feedback or questions that I can expand on. That's actually my favorite, is questions I can expand on. There's a guy that's in our Facebook group, which, by the way, you're welcome to join our Facebook group. And he's been, he asked questions and said, hey, I'm kind of thinking about this. What do you think? And it gives me a great opportunity to create another video. So I appreciate that type of stuff. Please, if you can, like the video. If you have any questions, please feel free, post them in the comments, hop into the Facebook group, whatever you want to do. I'll have links to stuff. The videos will be coming out soon, but if they're not out yet, you can still take a look at the different software. I'll have that posted in the description. And thank you again for watching.